People look at me as soon as I walk in and they're like, who is this guy? It's like I'm literally going to hurt somebody. Thousands of
Years ago, men that looked like me came in, enslaved your family,
took your women because they look like me.
Today, we're diving into one of the most profound thinkers of our generation, a man whose words have inspired millions to lose brain cells. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to King Azoulay.
We need to pass a law. Nobody in this world should be allowed to get married being under the influence of love. People never think about this, but open your mind for 1 second and tell me that I'm wrong. Are you allowed to drive under the influence of alcohol? Why would you be allowed to make such a big decision and be able to get married, sign a contract in the time when you're in love? You would do things that you would never do if you weren't in love. That should be illegal. Get out of being in love. Start just loving. And in that time, you can get married.
Bro thinks he's Shakespeare reincarnated but forgot to read a single book. Get out of being in love. Start just loving. What the fuck does that even mean? That sounds like the kind of advice your drunk uncle gives you at a wedding.
You see, son, you gotta stop loving and start loving harder.
Brother, you just invented the dumbest sentence humankind has ever heard. Congratulations. And just when you think that's the peak of wisdom, he levels up to full-on anime fanfiction.
From that point on, my dad knew he couldn't take on me. Now I was 13. He picked up a stick, a wooden stick, and he went to hit me over the head. And I did this, and it broke. And then I took it out of his hand, threw it on the floor, kicked him in the legs, picked him up, and threw him on the coffee table. Coffee table broke in half.
This is not a story. This is a coping mechanism. My guy's sitting there fantasizing about beating up his dad. Meanwhile, in real life, he was getting spanked with a chancla daily.
That's the beauty that we are actually superhuman. We just don't unlock this gene because we don't put our body and our mind through the pressure. There's something called microfractions. Little microfractions that you cause, but hitting the bone thickens the bone.
It's microfractures, not fractions. You walking failed math test.
Your head is the strongest bone in the body. And if you train it and bang it enough for a whole year, it becomes 4 times thicker. When we hurt, you cry.
Now this makes a lot of sense. That right there, this is what happens when you spend 365 days treating your brain like a speed bag.
Broke because you're a consumer. Have you ever seen a cow drink her own milk? Or have you ever seen a fruit tree eat its own fruit? Have you ever seen a chicken eat their own egg? No, because they are producers. And yes, I'm just about to shock you. When I was a consumer, I didn't have much money. But consuming, how much money do you actually need? When you're a consumer, there is no way for you to gain the wealth and the richest of the world because you're only thinking about yourself. But when you become a producer, now that's a whole nother level.
Bro literally just compared humans to cows, trees, and chickens and thought he dropped ancient wisdom. So what are we supposed to do, brother? Milk ourselves? Lay an egg every morning? Plant apples in the living room? Meanwhile, the cameraman he hired, he paid him. The editor he hired, he paid him. That's called consuming services, genius. In every business, you consume supplies, labor, and time to produce something else. This man really sat there, high off his own nonsense, and thought he cracked the code of the universe by observing cows. And after all that deep farm wisdom, you'd think he'd at least get some sleep. But nah. My man's running on Minecraft hunger bars.
Do not tell me that you can't get it done. You have to sleep less. You have to do whatever it takes to become that man that you want to become. Nothing is gonna...
You have to sleep less. You have to do whatever it takes to look like you desperately need a nap mid-sentence.
I get up every morning after 2 hours of sleep and I get to the gym. I run 12 businesses. Why? Because I'm better than you? No. It's because the internal voice tells me, Ben, the motherfucker king, you better go out there and get it.
This is what peak performance looks like after 2 hours of sleep and 12 imaginary businesses. Bro's brain cells are running on airplane mode at this point.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Wait.
That should be illegal.
So love is illegal, except when you need a soft launch post for Instagram clout. Perfect. Fucking top tier hypocrisy.
One of the questions that I get asked by young boys is, will I ever become a millionaire going to school? And you know what my question to them is?
What is it?
When you're in school, are you allowed to leave school?
No, you're stuck there.
And if you don't go to school,
They'll call your parents, and if you don't show up for a few days, they'll even call the authorities.
now what does it remind you of?
Jail. Why is that?
School is jail. The hallways look like jail. The cafeterias look like jail. The only time you're allowed to leave class and go to lunch.
This man really just said school is jail because the bell rings at lunch. By that logic, my microwave is running a prison complex too. Schools exist to create stable societies. You can still become rich after school, but you actually have to fucking try. It's not school that traps you, it's your excuses. Now, if you thought his philosophy about school was bad, wait till you hear his strategy for picking up women.
A fat guy could walk up to a girl with the perfect script and not be able to close the sale. I could walk up to a girl, not saying anything, give her my hand, and she'll go back home with me.
هيو قاهر قلوب النساء. Bro thinks he's some kind of divine man that women just teleport home with after a handshake. Maybe on OnlyFans Street, my guy. In real life, it takes more than being moisturized to close anything.
You have to understand that it's the same thing in sales. It's not what you say or what script you have in hand. The truth is, if you look good and you look presentable, that does a million times more than any script out there.
Could you imagine walking into a boardroom with Google executives, saying nothing, just flexing your teeth and expecting them to give you $10 million? Grow up, dude. Looks fade. Stupidity lasts forever. And just when you think we hit rock bottom, the motivational music kicks in like the final boss.
I'd rather stand by God and be judged by the whole world than stand with the whole world and be judged by God.
Bro, turn the music a little louder, please. I think I almost heard you this time. When your own comment section becomes your personal roast session, I think it's time for a rebrand. But anyway, I'm kinda getting tired of talking about this absolute fucking bomba clut. This isn't just about clowning one guy. This is a reminder. Anyone can post quotes and flex, but real wisdom is rare. Stop following people who sound deep. Start following people who live deep.